Welcome back to the Arbitress YouTube channel. In today's class, we are going to be learning how to make this beautiful front twist crisscross blouse. Okay, you can see where I joined the collar on that part, and this is the twisted part. That's where it's lapping on each other on the front area, and this is the collar at the back. You can see it's extended from the back all the way to the front, and it is twisted at the center front. It's a simple tutorial, beginner friendly. This is something you'd like to learn. Kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. Okay, so to make this, I'm going to be cutting the back first. Okay, we are going to use the back to cut the front. It's a very simple tutorial. You just need to understand it. Okay, so the measurement you need to fold your fabric is from your center back to your sleeve length, wherever it is you want your sleeve to be. So for me, that's 20 inches. Okay, or you can just mark your shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 8, so you can mark your 8 inches first, and then after that you're going to mark your sleeve measurement. My sleeve is 11. I'm adding 1 inch to that, which makes it 12 inches. I hope you can see the 12 inches right there. So the next thing I'm doing after that is to mark my neck width. So the neck width is going to be 3 inches, which is here, and then for the back my neck depth is 1 inch. Okay, so because I'm sewing it, that's why I just added extra half an inch there, and then I'm going to connect it. This is a very stretchy fabric, so that's why I don't want to mark on it too much. So this is my neckline for the back, and then after that I will go to the other side, and then I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches for my shoulder slant, which is here. So now from there I'm going to slant to my neck point to form my shoulder slant. Okay, so after that you're going to mark your sleeve opening. For me, I'm using 10.5 inches. So from where my shoulder slant stops, I'm going to mark the 10.5 inches, which is here. Okay, so on that 10.5 inches mark, that's where we're going to shape this outfit. So now I'm working with my hip measurements. My hip is 44 divided by 4 is 11. Because this is not a free dress, I'm going to add around 4 inches to 5 inches to that. So if I'm adding 4 inches to 44 to 11, I'm going to have 15 inches. So here I have my 15 inches like this. Okay, so now this 15 inches, I'm going to take it all the way to the length. So for this I don't want it too long. It's like a gown top, so I want the total length to be around 30 inches. Okay, I just added 1 inch allowance to that 30 inches. I hope you can see it. So this is where my length stops here. Okay, so on that point where your length stops, you are going to take the same measurement that you have here, which is 15 inches, so that you can have your straight line. So the same 15 inches, I have gone ahead to take it here, and then I'm going to connect them together. Okay, so that's how wide your blouse is going to be. I hope my chalk is visible enough. So this is what we have here now. So the next thing now is for you to connect these 15 inches to your sleeve length, to your sleeve opening. This is my sleeve opening. Remember, I came down by 10.5 inches on this point. So now here I'm just creating like a curve so that I can have something smooth on that part, and that is all you need to do for the back. So now what I'm going to do is to grab my scissors, and then I'll cut out what I have here. So this back is what we're going to use to cut the front. The only difference is that the front is going to have an allowance. So I'm trying to use a fabric that has different wrong and right sides, so that we can see what I'm doing very well, especially by the time we start to twist this, because I have a similar tutorial on this already, but the fabric was so similar. Some people were requesting I do this on another fabric, so here goes. So now this is my sleeve opening, and then I've cut it out. So this is what the back looks like. You can see that it is not so long, it's just like a small top. I'll just use this to illustrate this beautiful tutorial for us. So now to cut the front, I'm going to bring in my fabric again, and then I'm going to fold it. into two. Okay, so I have laid the back on another fabric. This is quite big, so I'm going to be taking it in bits. Before laying your fabric, okay, on the center fold side, remember this is the fold point for the back. On this part, you need allowance to create your twist. Okay, so for me, I have measured 30 inches. Okay, so this is quite long. This is 30 inches. From here, I measured 30 inches. After measuring the 30 inches, I placed my back. So all of this side that you're looking at is going to be our allowance. After cutting, I'll put it on the floor so that we can see it better. So now after the 30 inches, I just went ahead to place my back panel. So now after placing your back panel on this side here, I'm going to cut exactly what I have. So I'll first cut this, I'll cut my shoulder slant, I'll cut my sleeve opening, and then my side seam. After cutting this, now we're going to work on the center front. So you just grab your scissors again, and then you just cut the exact same thing that you have for your side, for your sleeve area, and then you do the same thing for the side, for the slant, shoulder slant as well. So now we are going to work on the neckline and the overlap area of the front. So now I have turned my fabric. You can see all of this place now is my overlap allowance, and then from here is my main bodice where I placed my back. So you can see this is the wrong side, this is the right side. I place it like that so that we'll be able to see where our center fold starts. So the first thing you want to do is to note the neck depth that you want for your front. Remember, we already have our neck width, which is 3 inches. So for the neck depth from the upper part here, you're going to mark your neck depth. I'm working with 7 to 8 inches, so I can just leave it at 7.5 inches. So here I have marked my neck depth. So now you come to your overlap side. That's on this part. Okay, on this part where your overlap stops here, where it starts. Remember, the length that I'm working with is 30 inches. So if I divide the 30 inches by 2, I'm going to have 15 inches. So from this upper part here, I'm going to mark 15 inches. That's half of my length. So you can see where I stopped my 15 inches, which is here. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to connect this 15 inches to my neck depth, which is 7.5 inches. I hope you can see what I am doing. So this is my neck depth marked here. So I'm just going to use you can use a ruler or your free hand to connect from that 15 inches like this. I'm just connecting it to my neck depth, to my 7.5 inches neck depth. I hope we see what I have done there. So after that, the next thing now is to now connect your actual neck depth. So I'll just raise the back a little bit, and then I'm going to use my ruler to connect my V shape for my front neckline. Okay, you can also use your free hand, and then I'll try to blend in whatever sharp point that I may have. So that is the neck depth for my front, and this is the neck depth for my back. So the next thing is to cut this out. I hope you understand what I've done. By the time we cut it out now, we will see it better, and I'm going to place it on the floor for us to see better again. So I'll cut from this overlap, this 30 inches, from here to this center point is 30 inches. So I just divided this length by 2, and that was 15 inches, which is what I marked there. So from here I connected this to my neck depth for the front, and then to my neck point. So that is all I did for the front. I'll grab my scissors now and cut this out. So I have cut it out, and then I'm going to remove it. So now this is the shape that we have, and like I said, I'll take it to the floor so that we can see it better. This is what the full view of the blouse looks like. You can see my back placed on the front just like this, and then here I went down by 15 inches, which was my length divided by 2, and from there I connected it to my neckline and then back to my neck width. So this is what it looks like, and then from here to this place is the 30 inches allowance that I'm going to use to twist the front. So this is what it looks like now. We're going to move to the table again so that we can continue cutting. So to sew this, I'm going to start by laying the back. Okay, Then after laying your back, you bring your front, right side facing right side, and then we go ahead and join the shoulder and the side seam together. So you can see me laying it like this. So I'm going to sew the shoulder together. Then after sewing my shoulder together, I'm going to go ahead and join my side seam as well on both sides. Okay, so after joining this, I will hem the lower part, I will hem my sleeve opening, and then hem the center part. So I'll do all of this and bring it back to show us what I've done. Okay, so I have gone ahead to sew my shoulder together. You can see that the shoulder is joined and the side seam is joined as well. So on my sleeve opening area, I hemmed my sleeve, as we can see, and then on the hem of the dress as well, I hemmed it. So you can just hem for the front, you can hem up to where your main dress stop, or you can include the allowance. For me, I just hemmed everything together, although I'm still going to sew it to the neckline, so it's not necessary. So you can see that this neckline area, I just left it open like that for both the front and then the back. All the overlap neckline area, I left it because I'm still going to sew it, so it's going to be neat. What you can do is just weave that part. So now to twist it, I'm going to arrange it well so that we can see what I'm doing very well. Okay, this fabric has a true wrong and right side, so I believe we will be able to get it better now. So what I'm going to do, this is the back and this is the front on it. The overlap that I have, you make sure that it is not turned, it is not twisted. Okay, arrange it well. So the overlap that I have here, I'm going to take the one for the right, I'll take it to the left. Okay, we are forming our twist now, and then the overlap that I have for the left, I will take it to the right. So you can see how they are crossing on each other. Okay, you take the one for this side, you take it to the other side, and then you take this for this side and you take to the other side as well. So this is what we have now. You can see that they just lapped on each other. So to sew it, the right side of this part, so I'll just take it like this, the right side of this part, I'm going to lay it on the right of the other side. Let me shift it. Okay, so the right side of this overlap, this part, this 15 inches part, remember we did 30 divided by 2, which was 15 in length. This part is what you are placing on each other. So just the way you crisscross this, you are just going to lay them on each other like this, right side facing right side, and the hemline should be on the hemline. The neckline area should match with the neckline area. Please don't make any mistake. After crossing them on each other like this, you just flip like this, and then you take it to your sewing machine and then sew this part. Okay, so I'll sew this now. After sewing it, I'll bring it back for us to continue. Okay, so now I have sewn it, and this is what we have. You can see me, I've joined it together, so you can just go ahead and weave this part. So I'm making this video especially for somebody that said she wants to make this and she doesn't have a mannequin. So now we're going to be twisting this on this flat pattern so that everybody will be able to do this. I hope you see this video and be able to make this dress now even without your mannequin. So now you can see how I am raising it. This is the part that I have gone to sew. This is the hem and this is the neckline area. So what I'm going to do now is just to fold this just like this, just to close it up just like this. So you can see this is the fold point on this side and this is the open point on this side. You just fold into two like this. So after folding it into two, you can see how I'm holding it. The next thing I'm just going to do is to twist it. Okay, I hope you can see this. I have it open like this. After sewing it, you fold into two like this. Then after folding it into two, the next thing you're going to do is just to turn it like this. So now this open part is now facing us. Remember the closed part was here before. So now after closing it into two like this, you turn it, you twist it like this in such a way that this open part is now facing us. So now this open part where you sew it, that's your center back area. I'm going to go ahead and take it to the neckline of the center part. So by now you should notch your center back. So I have notched mine and I'm going to just place it like this. So now you don't want your rough edges to be showing. So this is how you're going to pin it. You're going to pin it right side of your fabric to this. Okay, so you can see inward, so that whatever rough edge that I may have is going to be inside. So you can see how I am pinning it. Please watch this carefully. So I'm pinning this to my center back now. And I'm just going to pause so that we can see what we have done so far. So after pinning it to your center back, this is what it looks like. You can see that it is going to be neat. So now the next thing you're going to do is to take this neckline, just like we have it folded like this. We are going to follow this same pin that we have, right side facing right side like this, and then I'm going to pin it towards the front. So from my center back now, I'll take my main bodies and then the two overlap that I have here, and then I'm going to pin it. I'll keep pinning it to the front from my center back. So you pin again, and then you arrange it. You take your main bodies and then you take your two overlap, just like we have it. Just follow what you have on your neckline, what you have coming from your neckline. Okay, so this is how you can twist this on your flat pattern. If you want a tutorial on how I did this on my mannequin as well, it's uploaded on the channel. I'm going to link it below. But this is for those that does not have a mannequin and you want to make this dress. So just continue like that. So now you can see that I'm moving to the center, to the front now. So I take my main bodies and take these two overlap, and then I'm going to pin it. So when you have done this for this first side, okay, and you have completed it, you will see where the twist is. That's where you're going to stop, when you're, so that your body is not going to show. Okay, so you can see I've taken it up to that point. So I have twisted one part, and when you turn it now, you will see that it is neat on the outer part. That's why we are pinning it towards this inside. You want it to be like this. So now the next thing is going to do is to take to the other side as well. From your center back, just like you did for the first one, you are going to start pinning. Take your main bodies and take the two overlap and pin. So just play and pause this. I'm sure you get it. It's very simple to understand. Then you take your main bodies again, take your two overlap again and pin. It's as simple as that. So after pinning it now, we're going to go ahead and sew it. If you can sew it directly, it's okay, but it's advisable to pin it so that you don't make mistakes. So now I'll pin up to the front as well, and then we'll take this to our sewing machine, and then we're going to sew it. So you already know where you stop when you get to that overlap. So this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm going to sew it. After sewing it, you can weave it so that it can be neat. Then this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so you can see the twist that we have there. Okay, so now I will sew this round now, and I'll take it to the mannequin so that we can see what it looks like. And like I said, I have a tutorial on how you can do this on the mannequin as well. I'm going to link it down. Okay, so this is what our gown top looks like on the mannequin. You can see the twisted part on the neck, on the neckline area, and you can see my neck depth. My neck depth is just 7 inches and it stops there. So this was where we sew it. I've gone ahead to sew it all around, and this is where it's lapping on each other on the hem. Okay, so my neckline is just 7 inches like I said, and this is what the full view of the blouse looks like. So this is the back where we started sewing, the pinning the collar to it, and it's just pinned from the back all the way to the front, and this is what the back look like in full view. Okay, I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful tutorial with me. If you enjoyed it, let us know.